figured I would talk about the movies I watch every month, because I watch, more than the average person. Let's see, how many did I watch back in August? Let's see. Looks like we watched 38 films in August, so pretty good. Haven't been watching a lot of films this month. Kind of going through some rough times, some personal stuff, and for whatever reason, it's hard for me to watch movies when I'm not feeling 100%. So, but I do like making things. So hopefully you guys like watching them, because I'm gonna make them anyway. Okay, let's get on with it. On August 1st, I watched Drive. Now, Drive is one of my all-time favorite movies. If you haven't seen it, Ryan Gosling is a getaway driver, and he gets wrapped up in a crazy situation. And I'm gonna back up. I don't want to talk a lot about these movies, because I don't really like it when people tell me everything about the movie. I try to learn as little about a movie as possible, but Drive has got great cinematography, it's got an amazing soundtrack, and it's got Ryan Gosling, and Bryan Cranston, and Ron Perlman, and Albert Brooks, and it's amazing, and you should watch it. It's a good crime drama, A+, highly recommend, one of my favorites. Next, I watched, also August 1st, do you guys need the date? I don't think you do. South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. This one is good. It holds up. And maybe I'm saying that because I grew up in a time when South Park was new. South Park came out when I was in 6th grade. I think that's right. I was in middle school. So, it's crazy that it's still on. What? It's that's how people with The Simpsons are, I guess. But the songs are still very catchy, and they're still very good. And if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's pretty offensive, probably for most people. And by today's standards, it's not very PC. But I think with the South Park guys, they never really mean ill intent. So I think intent is important when you talk about not PC stuff. Well, I don't know. Does it? I don't know. I think intent does matter, but I think you can offend people without intending to. And, I don't know. That's a way deeper conversation than this video was ever supposed to be. So let's skip that. Then the next day, I watched a trio of movies that go good together. I watched Grease, Grease 2, and Crybaby. Grease, all-time classic. It's a great musical. John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John, A+. Watch it if you haven't. I can't believe. I don't even know I would have to tell somebody to watch that movie. Grease 2, on the other hand, is not a good movie. It's a very bad movie. You've got the guy who plays Rex Manning in Empire Records, if you're familiar with that, and Michelle Pfeiffer. And that movie ruined the Rex Manning guy's career. Somehow Michelle Pfeiffer made it through that. But so I was thinking about it, why Grease is so good and Grease 2 is so bad, even though they're kind of similar. I think what it comes down to is Grease has a lot of solos. Grease 2, almost no solos. Almost all the songs are these big group and dance numbers, and they're really repetitive. Whereas Grease is I'm trying not to snap loud because that's not ASMR. Grease is not like that at all. It gets on with it. Grease 2 is just it just drags, and you're these songs are not, and the songs aren't even that good. So, don't watch Grease 2. Watch it if you want. It's really cheesy and really stupid. It's got one good song. That's Cool Rider when Michelle Pfeiffer sings. So just YouTube that, and you're good. Don't worry about it after that. And then the last one I watched was Crybaby, which has Johnny Depp. Who else is in it? I'm trying to think. There's some other people that are kind of famous. But it's a John Waters film. A lot of people like it. It's very, very campy. It's too campy for my taste. So it goes from being a bad bad movie that's campy, so it's good again, and then it just keeps dialing it a little too far for my taste, so it's just too campy. But I know a lot of people like it, so give it a shot, maybe. I don't know. It's very similar in feeling to Grease. If you like Grease, you'll probably like Cry Baby, especially if you like Johnny Depp. Then August 9th, so about a week in between, I watched It's Such a Beautiful Day, which if you watch my favorite movies video, then you know that's one of my favorite movies, probably my all-time favorite movie. Very good, highly recommend it. The day after that, I watched My Best Friend's Wedding, which if you haven't seen this movie, it is insane. I don't have words for it. It's the weirdest rom-com, and the ending is just, it's just crazy. The ending is just crazy, how it goes. So, watch it. It's got, oh man, what's her name? I can't think of her name. Erin Brockovich. I want to say Erin Brockovich, but that's not the actress's name. Julia Roberts. And it also has Cameron Diaz. So, very good. If you like rom-coms, if you like a rom-com that's gonna just like turn everything on its head, watch that movie. I don't know how that movie got made. It's good though. Then next, I watched Spice World. If you're young, you might not remember the Spice Girls. They were like a boy band, but they were all women from England, and they were pretty catchy. I liked them. They came out when I was very young, and Spice World also came out. I mean, it's got to be 1995 or something like that. And it's very good. It holds up. They're very good at poking fun at themselves, and I don't think any of the other boy bands or girl groups or whatever would make a movie like that after they did so good. It's a great parody, but like it's got just enough like fan service for like the fans. So like if you didn't like the Spice Girls or if you liked the Spice Girls, it's good. It holds up. It's pretty good. Then I watched Buffaloed, which has Zoe Dutch, and I just love Zoe Dutch. She's great. Trying to think of what else she's been in. She was in a movie called Set It Up, which was on Netflix. I think she's in Zombieland too. But yeah, so basically think Wolf of Wall Street meets, what was the note I wrote for that one? I just wrote it would pair well with Wolf of Wall Street. And that's true. If you want a double feature with a new movie and an old movie, I guess it's not really that old, Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street, Buffaloed. 1-2 punch. You can't go wrong. After that, I watched Galaxy Quest, which is a solid film. It's a sci-fi. Justin Long's in it. He's got a bit part. Sigourney Weaver, Tim Allen, Sam Rockwell. That guy. What's his name? I'm drawing blanks on actor names. He plays Snape in Harry Potter. Alan Rickman. Is that right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. Okay, yeah, he's in it. It's just a good comedy, sci-fi, real fun. After that, I watched Zootopia, which is a great little animated film. Don't need to say any more about that. Wild Wild West was the movie I watched after that, and it's a solid movie. It gets a lot of hate. What Will Smith turned down The Matrix to watch Wild Wild West, to be in Wild Wild West, and I mean that was probably not a great career move, although it worked out very well for Keanu Reeves. Wild Wild West, I think, is a good film, and a lot of people don't like it. A lot of critics didn't like it, and the guy who wrote the original Wild Wild West series didn't like it. Apparently, there was a lot of behind-the-scenes drama and with the writing and the script and stuff. After that, I watched Not Another Teen Movie, which has Chris Evans in it, and it's probably the only parody movie that I think is any good. So if you've seen a lot of the 80s teen, 90s teen movies, and you haven't seen Not Another Teen Movie, watch it. If you haven't seen a lot of the 80s and 90s teen movies, there's going to be a lot of like references you don't get, but it's still worth watching. So I would say watch it. Then I watched The Naked Gun, which, going back, is a parody movie. Leslie Nielsen it just it didn't do it for me. It's just boring, you know. Sorry, just doesn't. I know a lot of people like it, but it just wasn't my thing. After that, Heavy Metal Parking Lot, short little documentary. It's very similar to American Juggalo, if you've seen that, and if you haven't, well, that's the next movie on the list. But they're just like these documentaries where they just go and talk to people from these like weird subcultures. And Heavy Metal Parking Lot is great because it's from like the 80s. So this was like before YouTube, you know. It feels like something that would be on YouTube now, much like American Juggalo. But it's such a good time capsule of like what was happening back then. And it's short, it's like 15 minutes long, so give it a shot. American Juggalo, also good. Guy goes to the gathering of the Juggalos, talks to a bunch of Juggalos. It's neat, it's interesting. It's like 20 minutes, it's on Vimeo. You can watch it for free, so I recommend that one. After that, watch Deadpool. That's just a solid superhero movie. Ryan Reynolds, he's great. It's funny. It's good. It holds up, of course. After that, A Mighty Wind. If you are familiar with this is Spinal Tap or Best in Show, A Mighty Wind is kind of the same group of players doing kind of an improv mockumentary thing. And it's alright. It's got its moments. I didn't really care for it. After that, Beetlejuice, which that of all the 80s movies, I think might be my favorite 80s movie that isn't Star Wars. What's Star Wars? Star Wars was the 80s, right? Empire Strikes Back was 80. Maybe 82. I don't know. Just movie trivia, who cares, right? But Beetlejuice, Michael Douglas is great. Winona Ryder is great. It's just a good movie. It's fun. It's great. It holds up. Watch it. Highly recommend. Then I watched Best in Show, which, if you remember what I just was talking about, A Mighty Wind, it's the same group of people, mockumentary, a lot of improv. It's pretty good. I think A Mighty Wind, or not, I think Best in Show is better than A Mighty Wind, but this Spinal Tap is better than all of them. I haven't seen Waiting for Guffman, which is the other film that those people made, but that's on my list. Then I watched Impractical Jokers, the movie, which, skip it. I think it was the worst movie I saw in 2020. It was like this weird combination of their regular show combined with like these like very obviously very poorly staged things that were supposed to be real, but like there was no suspension of disbelief, like even a little bit. Like the Jackass did it way better as a movie. They just took all the things that were like too inappropriate to show, you know, and that's what Impractical Jokers should have did, and they didn't. And I don't know, just watch the TV show. The TV show's pretty good. I don't know why they had to make the movie. It was kind of silly. Legend was the movie I watched after that. That's a Tom Hardy movie where Tom Hardy plays two characters, and I could not get into it at all. I thought it was just not. I ended up turning it off, which is like, so maybe that was the worst movie I watched in all of 2020. There's, man, two bad movies back to back. So don't recommend it. I know some people have said it's good. I just couldn't get into it. And Tom Hardy has this weird dumb accent in it, and I was just like, what is happening? I don't know. I didn't care for it. Give it a chance if you want. After that, Josie and the Pussycats, which is another wonderful, that would pair very well with Spice World. Rachel Leigh Cook, Tara Reid, and Rosario Dawson they play the Pussycats, and you know, from the Archie comics or from the Josie and the Pussycat, you know, it's kind of modern, it's in 2000 era. But yeah, who's the guy? There's a guy in both movies. He has like a very similar role. That's why I think Spice World and Josie and the Pussycats would go really well together. And Parker Posey's in it. She's great. We like Parker Posey. Then I watched Wayne's World, which, party time, excellent. That's a great film. And if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's a 90s classic. Mike Myers, great. Dana Carvey, great. Tia Carrere, great. Rob Lowe's also in it. Great. It's very funny. Then I watched Without a Paddle, which is a really solid comedy with Dax Shepard. Is Matthew Lillard in it? Yeah, Matthew Lillard and Seth Green. Dax Shepard is great too, and I think he doesn't get enough credit. And just Dax Shepard is married to Kristen Bell. Like, good for him. Like, he pulled off. Doing good, man. And he's written some movies and directed some movies, and they're good. And I don't think he gets near enough credit. You might remember him if you ever watched the show Punked on MTV. He was like a big character in that. But anyway, what else has he been in? He was in Idiocracy. He was in Let's Go to Prison. He was in the 2015 version of Chips. He actually wrote and directed it and starred in it because, like, what? That's so amazing. And it's a pretty good movie. Then I watched Dogma, which, if you like Jay and Silent Bob movies, you gotta watch Dogma. And if you don't know what Jay and Silent Bob are, go watch Dogma. That's probably the most approachable to one to, like, watch. That isn't. Clerks is also very good. Clerks is one of my favorite movies. But Dogma's got Alan Rickman again. He's the voice of God, but he's not God. Spoiler, sorry. But it's not really a spoiler because he's an angel who acts as the herald of God. There we go. Let me clear that up a little bit. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are in it. George Carlin's in it, and Selma Hayek's in it. Chris Rock's in it. It's a good movie. Watch it. Then I watched Hairspray, which is a new one for me. I had never seen that one before. Very good. Zac Efron did great. Who else is in that movie? John Travolta. He's the mom, which is just great. He does amazing in it. Who else is in that movie? I can't think of names. Oh, drawing blanks all over the place. But yeah, it's good. I really liked it. I don't like a lot of musicals. Like, I love the musicals I like. I take that back. I like a ton of musicals. I love musicals. But I just, like, I either love them or hate them. There's no in between with me. Then speaking of musicals, I watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And that's just a cult classic. You gotta watch it. A lot of people think you have to be at, like, the midnight movie showing to watch that one. But I don't think so. I think it's good anytime. It's good by itself. Tim Curry is he's a dynamo. Who could not like Tim Curry? Then we watched Singing in the Rain, which is one of my all-time favorites. I think that Singing in the Rain is the best musical of all time. I'm going to say that. At least for film. If we're talking stage play, best musical, Wicked, probably. So, if they make a Wicked movie, then we'll see. But for now, Singing in the Rain is the best musical on film. But yeah. Debbie Reynolds, Cary Grant, just amazing. Debbie Reynolds is Carrie Fisher's mom, if you didn't know, and she was very young, and she had never danced before, whereas like Cary Grant and the other guy, Donald something, were like these amazing pro dancers. So she really handles her role in that movie, and that movie is just so good, and it's so wholesome, and that's not good. Let me turn off my sounds. Sorry about that. It's just such a good wholesome film. You can't go wrong with it. Okay, after that, watched Inglourious Basterds, which that's one of my favorite movies. Maybe my favorite movie. I don't know. I go back and forth with a lot of movies, but it's definitely the best Tarantino movie. Which is weird because when I saw it in the theaters, I didn't really care for it. But I was also really tired. I just played a show with my band, and then I went with this girl I really liked, who I was like super in love with, and she just wanted to be friends. And then that was back when I was young and dumb. I'm still dumb. I'm just not as young. But I thought I could change her mind, and it just didn't work. So lesson to all you hopeless romantics out there, if they're not into it from the jump, like, just move on, man. Like, don't put people on pedestals. It doesn't work out well. It's just the boulevard of broken dreams. So anyway, Inglourious Basterds, great film. Then I watched Inception, another great film, very good Christopher Nolan film. Probably my favorite Christopher Nolan film, I would say. I'll say this, it's my favorite, but I don't think it's the best. I think Interstellar is the best, even though I've only seen it once, because I'm trying to keep Interstellar very special, because it was just so, it just boom, it just was a punch to the face of cinema, and I want to retain that feeling as much as I can. So I'm trying to like not watch it more than, I don't know, probably not even once a year. I want it to stay special. Inception I've seen already a dozen times, so, but it's probably my favorite. It's a good movie. It's fun. Then we had La La Land, which is maybe the second best musical, because I love Ryan Gosling and I love Emma Stone, and the songs in that movie are amazing, and it's such a good story, and I love it to pieces, and people like to trash it, and I will die on that hill. I love La La Land. It's a great film, and if you don't love it, agree to disagree. Then I watched Slc Punk, another Matthew Lillard film. If you haven't seen that one, a lot of people haven't seen that one if they weren't punks. But it is an amazing film. It changed my life when I was a teenager because I was a young punk, and the movie has a very good message about, are you really fighting conformity if you just conform to something different? Which is, I think that's a lot of message a lot of people didn't get out of that movie. Like, it just goes right over their head, which I don't know how. Like, they literally spell it out. But I digress. Then I watched B-Movie, which is a good Jerry Seinfeld movie. A lot of people don't like that movie either because it's very corny, but it makes me very happy. I like it, and I think you should watch it if you haven't, because it's ridiculous and it's super good, and I wish Jerry Seinfeld made more kids movies because B-Movie's amazing. Then I watched all 3 Austin Powers movies, and those movies actually do hold up very well. For at the time in my head, they were kind of offensive, but they're really not. They're not. And what they do well is, even as a product of the time, they were not at all. They don't punch down like it's offensive, but there's a lot of like 2000s comedies that really make fun of people's like sexual orientation and stuff, and that doesn't really happen in Austin Powers. And also, the third Austin Powers has maybe one of the best intros of all time, with some of the best mind-blowing cameos. Like, I remember seeing that movie in the theaters, which again dates me, but I don't care. And we just, man, applause in a theater. Different time. We didn't have the internet. Then the last film I watched in August was Palm Springs, which has Andy Samberg and who is the other girl? Is she the girl from Mean Girls? Maybe. She's not Caddy, but like Caddy's like non-plastic friend, whose name I don't remember. Janice. I think it's the same actress. I could be wrong. It's kind of fuzzy in my head right now, but J.K. Simmons is also in it, and it's very good if you like Groundhog Day, and if you like Andy Samberg, and you like dark comedy, and you like sci-fi, and you like the idea of time loops. Spoiler, kind of. I don't know. It probably says it in the trailer. Give it a watch. It's very good, even though it's a dark comedy. It's very wholesome, and I think people should watch it because it's good. So, those are the movies I watched in August. So far in September, it's the 15th already, and I've only watched one movie, The Emperor's New Groove. Because again, gone through some rough times, but things are getting better. I'm feeling better. Got back into my workout. So I'm gonna get jacked, and maybe pretty soon I'll be the most swole ASMR guy. That's not true. I saw a power lifter do ASMR once, and I was like, whoa. Okay, well, I guess I'm not the biggest ASMR guy anymore. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys and gals, and non-binaries. I hope you people enjoyed this film. Not you people. That sounds bad, too. Man. It's hard being a relic of that generation where everyone just made fun of things, and trying to be better. But I'm trying. Hey, gang. We're going back to gang because we're committing cool ASMR crimes. So, gang, if you like this video, do me a favor, press that like button, leave a little comment down below, tell me what movies movies you watched, because I will nerd out about movies all day long. You know, it's fun. I don't know. I love movies. Love making them. Love watching them. I need to make more. I've only made 2 short films. I made a couple sketches, but I want to get. That's one of the things I want to do. My 34th year on this earth is I want to make things. It's an attempt to live forever. That was supposed to be more dramatic, but I didn't want to throw my head back and knock my headphones off or something. And I also felt like that you need to shout that, but that's all. Anybody that makes anything, just an attempt to live forever. So that's why I make these. And also to help you lovely folks fall asleep. Hopefully, or just relax. But if it made you fall asleep already and you're not awake anymore, mission accomplished. Anyway, yeah, got a lot more videos coming up. And let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like me just rambling about movies? Because I could ramble about movies all day long. Like I said, maybe I'll do a live stream where I'll just ramble about movies for 24 hours and I will blow my voice out. Because I don't think I can whisper it that long. We're at 26, almost 27 minutes, looks like. But that, I didn't prepare at all. I just wrote down all the movies I watched on my spreadsheet that I keep. So that ought to tell you how many movies I like to watch. I haven't watched as many as I want to. I'm only at like 140 for the year. So, gotta get on that. I wanted to do 365. There's about 100 days left in the year, so let's make it happen, Cabin. Until next time, see you guys and girls and non-binaries. See you, gang. Bye, gang. I'm gonna stop talking now. And one more thing. Okay. So that, I don't know if anyway you're from in the Midwest, in the U.S., but in the Midwest there's something called the Minnesota Goodbye, and that's when it's always just one more thing, and each time you get up to leave, saying goodbye takes a half hour in the Midwest, because we're always just oh yeah, and one more thing, and then